Hello, how is everyone doing? I see we already have Monica saying good morning to everybody. I love that. And I realize where did I put my water? My water ran away. Hold on a second. I really need to have the water close to me, right? It's like it doesn't matter if I'm like 5 minutes ahead of time and I'm like, okay, I'm good. And I take another look and I'm positive I'm good. Sure enough, it's something like I didn't have the water where I could reach it. This always happens when I get started. There's always some little thing, right? Okay. So we have Monica over on YouTube saying hello, or more technically, good morning, all. And a couple of people over on Instagram already. Awesome sauce. Awesome sauce. It's such a weird, I don't even know where I picked that up from. But anyway, all right. It is still chilly over here. I hope you guys are all staying warm. If you are someplace like me where it is cold, I am in New Jersey and I am chilly, so I'm wearing my crochet, right? This is actually, I'm hiding myself. This was in the October issue of Crochet Foundry. It is designed by Jenny King and it is the blanket poncho. So it is super warm. It's called the blanket poncho, but it's essentially it's a ruana. It's one of those things where it's almost like it's two rectangles. Well, it's made in one basic piece. You make a wide rectangle for the back, whoosh, and then you make a rectangle over here and a rectangle over here. So it's like a big rectangle with a slit halfway up. And that is all this is. And because it's so long, I was able to wrap the two front rectangles around me and pin them together. I actually pinned them together with a one of those bulb pin stitch markers. These little guys back here. I love these stitch markers, as long as you don't mind that they're actually sharp. They're actually, these stitch markers, the pin that they're on, it's actually called a bulb safety pin. So if you're somebody who wants to make your own stitch markers, these pins that these stitch markers are on are called bulb safety pins. I have yet to find them not sharp because they are intended to be safety pins. They're just this shape, right? So I would love to be able to find these that aren't sharp, but I never seem to be able to. So the one I like these, I do like these, that these have the second purpose of also being a safety pin. But then I think probably my favorite kind of removable stitch marker that isn't that isn't sharp would be the ones that are actually just these earrings, because they're so easy to open and close, right? So these are really nice. And you know what? I do also, I have a thing. These you can do with like one hand really quickly a lot of times, but I do have a thing, and I don't have them over here, but I have a thing for the clover sheep stitch markers as well. If we're talking about removable stitch markers, go ahead, let me know if you have any favorite removable stitch markers. There's also, of course, the continuous stitch markers that work for knitting, but they don't work so well for crochet because your stitch markers in crochet have to be removable or else they get stuck because you end up crocheting around them. Still chilly, and we have more people arriving. Yay! What time is it? There it is, 12:04. Forgot where my clock was on my computer. You know, it's on the bottom right where it always is. So yes, we have that. And let's see. I told you what I was wearing. And yeah, I have just been going like crazy over here. Getting all of the community stuff and the bonus extras, freebie stuff for you going on. Let's see. Oh, Monica has like the plastic ones. You can lose them a lot and not feel guilty. Yes. And that's great. That's another reason why I like the the clover sheep ones are a little more expensive than just these little, here, I know I have some over here. Okay, so like these plastic ones, the kind of clear looking ones here, these are super, super cheap, like so cheap that after you've used them a couple times, they often will break. Okay, so these, not great. I got them at a class that I took, and she had bought a huge batch of them and just gave everybody the stitch markers that they needed. So it was, it's kind of like sometimes when you buy a kit and you get a crochet hook or knitting needles in the kit, and they're usually the kind that are, by the time you're done with the kit, you've already bent them, right? So it's like when you're buying in bulk so that everybody can have one, and you don't want to make your kit super expensive or your class super expensive or whatever. Yeah, sometimes that's what you end up with. And sometimes when you're buying in bulk so that you can give them to all of your class, you don't realize that they're the ones that are going to break after you've used them a couple times. I haven't really seen the kind of clearish ones that aren't like break after you use them a few times. Usually the ones that are shaped this way that don't break are more of the opaque plastic. Okay, so these are like, these are most likely, Clover. They could be some other brand. I'm really not sure. But yeah, I think these are probably what Monica was talking about. They're nice and inexpensive. You don't feel guilty if you lose them. I really like the Clover ones shaped like sheep. The way that the little fur back on the sheep is a little bumpy, they tend to like stay where you want them a little better. And I find that they're really easy to open and close. And then they're also incredibly cute, which is a bonus, right? But I do get sad if I lose them. Though they are still, they're still inexpensive enough. It's not, I guess it really depends on your budget, right? What I consider inexpensive and what you consider inexpensive could be vastly different in various ways, all right, and see, I keep distracting myself. The various things that we are doing to add to Crochet Foundry for you guys. So you may have noticed we've already started a crochet along for February, and that is through our Patreon. So you can go to the Patreon to see that. You can also, if you just go to crochetfoundry.com, you'll see a banner across the top that is for the Patreon. And it just links to the Patreon. Hold on, let me give you this. I had this all set up and missed this one little thing. Here we go. So you can see across the top here is the banner for Patreon. And of course, you can always look under community. All right, this will tell you the various things we have as a community. There's the crochet along, so that's going to tell you about Patreon. Lunch with the Foundry is where we are right now. Sit and Stitches, and today we have a public sit and stitch. Today is the 19th. So we have a public sit and stitch right after this live stream. It is from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern. So it is right now it is 12:08 p.m. So this live stream happens in 52 minutes. Okay. And you can go ahead, and if you haven't already pre-registered so that you have the link, you can click this. It'll pre-register. It actually, at this point, I think it just gives you the link because it's so close to when we start. So that is today. And you'll see that our now public-facing live streams, or public-facing sit and stitches that are on Zoom for 2 hours, are now twice a month. Because the other 2 Wednesdays every month, we have the sit and stitch that is for our Patreon patrons. We'll talk about the crochet along, and then anything else. But they are for the Patreon patrons. At any of the patron tiers, you can go to you will get invited to the other 2 Wednesdays. All right. So where is my button to bounce me back to full screen? Here we go. Okay. And okay, that's where I was. I'm telling you guys, sometimes my brain likes to lose track of things. Always my brain likes to lose the track of things. I think that I'm ready to go, and I should know myself better by now, right? So we have been having fun with the crochet along, and in addition to that, we're also going to be, I would love to start next month. I don't want to make any promises because I still need to put together the sign up. So it might be what is next month, March. It might not be until April, because we are very close to March already. But I am going to get the blog hops going again, and the blog hops will feature free patterns that fit whatever our, season and current month theme is. Mainly they'll fit the season or the month. So we're going to March, April, those would both be kind of spring ones. So those will be open to everybody because they'll be on the Crochet Foundry blog. So again, if you pop over here, we'll go over here. If you're on our website, you can see, where's my mouse? Here we go. Here is where you can click to go to the blog. All right. So the blog hop we will have up here, and I'll go ahead and I'll make one of these little side menu navigation menu items. I'll make one of them blog hops, so you can always just find the listings pretty easily. But the blog hop posts will be listed here, and they'll be the main one that tells you about that month's blog hop. And then we will link to, since it's the blog hop, we'll link to the blog that has, for each day that we have a blog hop post, we'll link to whatever blog is featuring a free crochet pattern. All right, so those blog hop patterns, when you hop to another blog, it will be a free crochet pattern that fits in with our theme. We will probably also include free knit patterns. In Jessie's perfect world, and we'll see how this happens. I would love it if every day that we have a blog hop, which would probably be like once a week, maybe we might just choose a day of the week. Maybe it's every Tuesday or whatever. There would be a blog we would have one that is a free crochet pattern, and then one that is a free knit pattern. Next to that, I would say, if at least half of the times we have a free knit and a free crochet, and the other half we just have free crochets, I would be happy with that as well. But I would really like to be able to give you the free crochet and the free knit both. But again, we are just starting up the blog hops. So, we've got to give it a little time to get going, but that is in the works for you guys. And as members on Patreon, you'll be able to participate in polls, and vote for things. And one of the things that will include is, hey, give me suggestions of people you would like me to reach out to participate in the blog hops. Who are the designers who have free patterns on their blogs that you would like to participate in the blog hops? Because I do want those blog hop patterns to be free, at least free on the internet on an ad supported site. Like, I'm not going to tell you that the PDFs are going to be free, but there'll be at least an ad supported website with the pattern for free. Okay. Pop back this way. And I don't think you need this banner anymore, so we can turn that off. There we go. So the blog hops are getting going, and that is free content for everybody. I would love to have the first blog hop going in March, but it might feasibly, let's remember I'm human. It's probably going to be April. I want it to be March, but reality says it might not be until April before we start the blog hops, because I'm going to have to look and see, if the blog hop is going to be a monthly thing, or it might make more sense for it to be a seasonal thing. We'll see how that all goes. Okay, but there is definitely going to be a blog hop, and I would love for it to choose a day of the week, Tuesday, Thursday, Monday, Friday, whatever. And just not Wednesdays. They're already full, right? And each week there'll be a different blog you would hop to. Okay. So that is gonna get going, and let's see, what else were we going to get going for you. Oh, I remember the 5-minute tips. So I am going to have a 5-minute weekly tip, and it will just be a video that is up to 5 minutes long, we're around 5 minutes long. I'm going to try to cap it at 5. And look, we have somebody else saying hi over here on YouTube. Oh my goodness, so many times this avatar here. Yeah, I've been feeling that a lot lately. Alrighty then. So I'm not entirely sure. We're not going to keep on posting those. So distraction, right? The blog hops. We did those already. Yeah, the 5-minute tips. So the 5-minute tips, they'll be 5 minutes. I'll try to max them out at 5 minutes. And they're just going to be for various things that I think will be useful for you. There'll be one a month that is totally available to everybody. And we'll probably pop it up, or at least the link for it or something up on the Crochet Foundry blog. Again, we'll give it a little an area here in the little menu bar where you could just 5-minute tips, click on it. So once a month will be open to absolutely everybody. You don't need to be a Patreon patron or anything like that. Then a second one that will also be yarn themed will be open for the lowest tier of Patreon on up. And then there'll be 2 more, and that'll also be some yarny themed one. It might be crochet, it might just be yarn themed, it might be knit, but it'll be somewhere in the yarn theme. And then there'll be 2 more that will be open for the higher levels on Patreon. So there will be one 5-minute tip a week. It'll just depend. Everybody will have access to at least one, and depending on at least one a month. And then depending on what tier you are within Patreon, if you're a patron, you'll get some of the you can get up to one a week. So those are super fun. They're going to be, just in tips of things like, ways to start your rows without holes, ways to mix different yarn weights to get other yarn weights, just, all of those those various 5-minute tips that you can get on so many different things. Various ways to join your yarn, various ways to weave in your ends, a collection of, there might be, one a month for a little while. That's, a collection of ways to make straps for bags. So, you can like braid straps, there are crochet ways to make them, there are knit ways to make them, there are nifty little tools that you can use to make I-cord for straps and then braid those. So there's so many different, like, really useful things that you can learn in just a couple minutes. And that's what those 5-minute tips are going to be all about. Okay. Let's see. We have the 5-minute tips. We talked about the crochet along. We talked about the blog hop. I think I've had plenty of coffee today because I'm talking really fast. Also within Patreon, there is free Patreon access to some community stuff. Okay. So if you're over here, again, you can click on, this isn't the regular Crochet Foundry site. This is the blog. So if you're over on the regular Crochet Foundry site, if you're ever like, why is this menu different when you're on the blog is technically a different site. Okay. So if you're looking for something that you use normally in the menu and you don't see it, you might be on the blog. So hop over to here and click the Crochet Foundry thing, and that'll pop you back to the regular Crochet Foundry site. Okay. So you can pop over to the Patreon from here. But then I've opened this in an incognito window so I can see it the way you guys see it. Okay, so if you ever notice that I'm open in an incognito window, the reason I do that is so that I'm guaranteed I'm seeing the public facing thing. So I don't tell you something is somewhere where it's not, because I'm the only one who can see it, right? Because that gets really annoying when I'm like, oh yeah, just click here. And you're like, I don't see it, right? You're like, Jess, I don't own this site. I can't see that stuff. So here we are on Patreon, and you can see right here, join for free. And if you join for free, you're going to have access. So I haven't even joined anything right here on this on this version. You can see the various memberships, but then if you go over to collections, all right, I don't think it's going to tell you. No, it's not going to tell you what's public facing there. If you click on something, you'll be able to see what you can and can't see publicly. A lot of these are not really viewable publicly, but you can go to chat and look, we have 3 chats that are totally free to join. There's the socialized chat. It's just, whatever you guys want to talk about crafty wise. There's the Crochet Foundry general chat. So if you want to talk something more specifically crochet, this is the one for you. And there's Jessie at Home general chat. So if you want to talk about specifically Jessie at Home patterns, or which actually kind of works in both of these, but also anything crafty outside of crochet, knit or the various other crafts. If you are somebody who's been following me as Jessie at Home for the nearly 20 years that I've been going around as Jessie at Home, you know that I basically do all crafts. I spent my entire life as an artist. So there's a lot of fun stuff going on over at Jessie at Home. And this is a great place where you can chat about things. These are all totally free. Okay, the Crochet Along chat, you will have to be a part of the Crochet Along tier. If we decide to start other chats, they'll be connected to whichever tier they need to be connected to based on what their theme is. Okay, so there you go. There are various ways here you can participate in Crochet Foundry's community, even if you are not able to afford to be a patron in any of the ways. And of course, there is also the Crochet Foundry Makes Facebook group that you can join as well. Okay, and we have another comment. Hello from Frozen, Texas. Oh, it just sucks. It does. It really does. It's funny and not funny all at the same time. I can giggle. I feel safe laughing at Sarah being in Frozen, Texas, because Sarah's originally from Chicago. So she's at least used to it. But it doesn't even matter. In some ways, it doesn't even matter if you're used to it, because if it's cold enough that you need heat in your house and your house doesn't have heat, it doesn't matter if you're used to crappy weather, right? And that was one of the things we were talking with Sarah about last week. She said the worst cold she's ever been was in Texas because they didn't have heat in the house. And yeah, and you're I'll take losing internet any day as opposed to losing power. Yeah, there's that, which happens if you're in a place that's not used to getting really cold. What's really cold in Texas is nothing out here in New Jersey, but that's because we have everything, not just oh yeah, I can handle being cold. I can handle when it's cold outside. We have heat in our homes, right? If your home flat out doesn't have heat, there's only so much you can do with space heaters, and those things are going to get marked up and sold out so freaking fast, right? So when Mother Nature decides to play with you, it can be annoying. During the during the big freeze, the house got down to the 40s inside. I think that's what Sarah's telling me about the absolute worst cold she's ever, the worst being cold ever experienced is when she's saying in Texas it got down to 40 degrees out to the 40s outside, and those houses don't have heat, right? Not okay, man. So yeah, I feel bad for all of you guys who I definitely I understand why it's different when you're somewhere that you're having temperatures that area isn't used to. It's a totally different thing than someplace where you are used to having those temperatures, because your car doesn't have snow tires, your house doesn't have heat. Karen is in afternoon. It says good afternoon from Scotland. Good afternoon, Karen. Yeah, it's probably later afternoon over there. I feel like it's maybe 5 hours later there, which would make it about 5:30. It might be 6 hours different. Or yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's maybe around 5:20, 26 in Scotland in the afternoon. It's one of the reasons I like this time for our live stream is it tends to be decent in various time zones. Even over there in California right now, it would only be 10:30 in the morning and not incredibly early. Been cold in California, low 30s and high 50s. Monica, I'm going to guess you're a little more north in California. I know you've told me before, but that sounds like it would be more around San Fran, Sacramento kind of area. I'm guessing that's not the LA kind of area. Hey, look, I was right about the Scotland. It is 5 hours. Yes. You guys are awesome. You keep me up to date. You keep up to date. It's not like it changes. You keep me apprised of all the different time zones, and I love when I actually remember what they all are. All right, look at this. Everybody, yeah, it's funny. We're all talking about the weather, but that's because it's so weird right now. Karen is 32 Fahrenheit in Scotland. Thank you, Karen, for being considerate enough to let us know what it is in Fahrenheit. Because a lot of us are really useless when it comes to Celsius, except those Canadians, man, they rock. So it is a normally chilly day for Scotland. Yeah. Monica's in Central California near the beach. Oh yeah. Those ocean breezes, man, can really bring the temperature down. So, okay. Central California. I was pretty sure you weren't like Southern California. I didn't think it was getting that cold down there. Sarah says that Texas is having the same temperatures as Scotland, which, if you look at their relationship to the equator, we have Texas, we have Scotland. You shouldn't be having the same temperature. This is so not crochet related, guys. All right. I have gotten so off track now. So, like I said, we are having fun with our crochet along. The crochet along pattern this month is this one. And I know what else I have that's going to be free for everybody. Okay, so the crochet along is this pattern, which is it's a hooded cabled cape. All right. So we have a cable down the front, we have a cable down the back of the hood and the back of the cape, and it's kind of capelet length. But right now, here, let me show you where you can find it over on Jessie at Home. Saved it. I don't know what she saved. All right, let's see. Oh, I didn't share my screen with you, so that doesn't do you any good at all, does it? All right, so you can find the pattern, and do me a favor, if you're going to go take it off, if you're going to use it off of the off of Jessie at Home, do me a favor and wait until the end of today or tomorrow, because I have updated the pattern, and I've gotten the updated pattern. I've updated the pattern, but I haven't updated on the Jessie at Home site yet, because I was updating it for the crochet along. All right. So I will tonight get the updated version on the Jessie at Home site and in the PDF that you can purchase. If you've already purchased the PDF from, Ravelry or whatever, when the PDF is updated, you'll be able to get the updated version. Okay, but this is Jessie at Home, where I have free patterns, and as you can see, it is an ad-supported site. Okay, so this is what I meant when I said with the crochet alongs. With the blog hops. The patterns will be free on what will be at least free on the internet, but they might be free on the internet on an ad-supported site, which is what Jessie at Home is. And what that means is you'll see ads. Okay. Normally, I don't get these kind of ads. I'm going to have to talk to my advertising company that I use, the ad company that I use, because these make sometimes confuse people. They think that that's the one that's actually attached to the website, and it's not. So anyway, this is the on the website, the version you'll see. And if you wait until tomorrow to pull it off the website for free, to look at it on the website, I'll have it updated by tomorrow. Okay, so I'm going to get to that tonight, because the way that I've updated the pattern is just a few things to make it a little, I think it's just, it makes the shaping on the hood just a little bit nicer. I have some ribbing going on the joining between the hood and the cape to make it pull in at your neck a little better. Okay. And then I just rewrote the way I was doing the increases. They're actually being done the same way, but I changed the way I wrote it so that it works with stitch markers for the increases for the cape. So what happens is it's actually just an 8-row repeat, because of the cables take 8 rows to repeat. But all of the increase sections are the same every single row, as long as you're using the stitch markers. So by doing it that way, I only had to write out the first actual 9 rows of the cape, because the first row is kind of the setup row, and then rows 2 through 9 are the repeat. And then you can just repeat rows 2 through 9 as many times as you want to make the cape longer, because this is, as you can see, kind of capelet length. And I published this pattern originally in 2017, and the most common request I get for this one, and I get it a lot, is, hey, can you write it for longer? All right. So one of the reasons I wanted to do this pattern for our crochet along is this is one that a lot of people have made, and a lot of people have had various requests for it, for like what they would like to see. So those are things that I added into the pattern when I updated it, so that I can fulfill those requests that people have, and also give you guys a really awesome pattern. So even though you won't be able, if you're not part of the crochet along tier on Patreon, you can kind of feel like you're participating by making this pattern here, because it is free on the website. If you want the ad-free printable PDF, you would have to buy it, and here are places that you can buy it from. Okay. I obviously prefer that you buy it from Crochet Foundry, because I own Crochet Foundry, and therefore that is where I have the least amount of fees. I still have PayPal fees, and I still have site hosting fees and all of that sort of stuff. But I don't have any of the extra fees I get charged when I sell at a site that I don't own. So, and the full pattern is here, guys. It's going to be an even better version by tomorrow, but it is the full pattern. All right. And yeah, so this is a fun one to make. A lot of people have made it in red. Here, I think if we pop over to Ravelry, you can see, I just scrolled right by where that was. A lot of people have made it in red because it's like a Little Red Riding Hood cape, right? So here you can see this one's made in red, and this is a different one made in red, because you see this one does not have a black band on it. This one has a black border, and I love this idea where I think it looks like that might be kind of fuzzy yarn. Isn't that a cute idea? You can get one of those fur yarns and just do like a double crochet edging around the hood and around the bottom of the cape. How fun is that? I think I might have to have to add something like that in. And here's another one. I feel like this one she added on a couple extra sets of repeats, a couple made it a little bit longer. So, but this one is made the length that I designed it, and she even, I don't know if you can see, but she put little tiny beads inside some of the cables. And I love that, of all the things you could use to hide your face, when she made this as clearly it looks like a Little Red Riding Hood cape, so she has a wolf mask on. I love that. But you can also go over, I think, because I'm signed in as a guest. But if you're signed in to Ravelry, you'll be able to see it'll have a link up here for projects, people who have made this. And there's even more than these 3 people. Yeah, this is only 3 people because this one and that one is the same, but here's another one and here's another one up here. So you'll be able to see more projects that people have made with it. All right, I think we have more comments here that I should get, or I may have skipped some. Sarah says her crochet is keeping her warm. And Karen says that due to the weather, she needs more. Due to the weather, it means that you guys need more crochet blankets. Always. And yes, even if we are off topic of crochet, we are getting to know each other, which is awesome, and a big part of being a community, right? Which I love. You guys who do know me know that I love the community aspect. And okay, another thing I love about the hooded cable cape is that it gives you an excuse to use fun little cape clasps and toggles. I also have, here's the one I think I'm going to use for the version I'm currently making. I can't open it. Haha, there it is. So here, let me see. I'll take it out so you can see it better. It's really cute. You guys, where are you guys? Do you guys have any places you like to go to get these cute little like accessories, like cable clasps or buttons or anything? You'll have to let me know if there's where you guys like to go to get your little buttons and cable clasps and decorative hooks and decorative zippers. All right, so here we go. There it is. All right, and it's got kind of a it's got that kind of medieval royal rose, okay, decoration in it. It's really cute. You could get really fancy pants because it has the little holes here. I mean, that's just supposed to be decorative. Oh my gosh, it's right in front of my eyes. I can't do it on purpose. I did it on accident. But it's got distracted myself. Okay, it's got the cute little holes here where you could hang dangly things off of if you wanted to get really fancy pants, right? But anyway, so that's my little cloak clasp that happens to, I guess, be a tongue twister that I'm using for the crochet along version of the cloak that I'm making. Okay, so here is my little basket O crochet along. So this is my hook. It is a J, which is a 6 millimeter, and this is a Furls Streamline. All right, this is like my favorite shape hook. It works really, really well for me, because if I use just a straight hook, I hold it too hard, I hold it too tight, and it makes my hands start to hurt. I don't do that with knitting needles, but I guess you do hold them differently. I can knit like forever without my hands starting to hurt, but if I have the wrong kind of crochet hook, my hands will start to hurt. And just the shape of this, it keeps me from grabbing it too tight. So here we have my cabled cape that I'm making. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to tell you guys about. I'm going to put up a post. I'm going to put it on it's probably going to be on Jessie at Home, but I will link it where you can find it. And it's going to be a post specifically to give you all sorts of customization tips for the hooded cabled cape. Okay. So again, you don't have to be part of the Patreon Cal. Now, if you're part of the Patreon Cal, you get to go to the Sit and Stitches. You get the PDF of this pattern for free. You get some bonus printables that go with it for free. You'll get all of that stuff for free. But if you're not part of the sit and stitch, you can still at least make this pattern. Like I said, I'm going to get the updated version on the site tonight, on Jessie at Home tonight. And at some point this week, within the next week, before our next sit and stitch, our next crochet along sit and stitch, which is a week from today, I will have the post up on Jessie at Home that's going to tell you, give you all the different ways to customize this pattern, because like Dory is using Simply Soft, which is, I think it's technically a size 5 worsted weight, but it's really more close to a size 4 DK. And so we just figured out how to really easily adjust the size, adjust the number of stitches in a way that's really simple to do. You don't have to be awesome at math. You don't have to make huge alterations to the pattern. It's just super, super simple. We figured out how to do that for Dory. So I'll put that in there. And my yarn, I'm using Hirschner's Worsted 8 Heathers, which is super, super soft. Okay, so Dory's over on Instagram, and she says it's a 4. I'm sorry, isn't 4 is worsted, right? Is 4 worsted or is 5 worsted? You know, I know this, but for some reason I've lost my brain. I think 4 is worsted. And Dory says it's a 4, but it's on the lighter end. So let's see, 1 is fingering, 2 is sock, 3 is DK, 4 is worsted. Okay. And now Dory says, yes, 4 is worsted. And I got a bunch of you popping in, saving my addled brain over here. I'm getting old, people. Yeah. So the original pattern calls for Lion Brand Scarfie. This red and black one, I used Lion Brand Scarfie, which is a 5. Okay. Dory is making it in Simply Soft, which is a 4, but a lighter end of 4. So it's worsted, but it's nearly DK. So we figured out how to add some stitches in a way that makes it really easy. Okay. And I'm going to put that in the post that I'm going to have up by this time next week on Jessie at Home. And there's also like this yarn that I'm using is a 4, but it's kind of averagey 4. And I found that it was fine for the stitch count, but it's a teeny bit short for the row count. And so like for the hood, I made 1 extra repeat for the hood. So there's an 8-row repeat in the hood. There's row 1 and then rows 2 through 9, and you repeat rows 2 through 9, which is the same as on the cape. So there's an 8-row repeat for the hood, and you do that 3 times. So you do the first 9 rows, and then you repeat rows 2 through 9 2 more times. I actually repeated it 3 times to get the hood. Okay. And so, you know, all of those tips will be in there, and I've already figured out how to continue the increase from the stitches on the hood, that what Dory had done. I've already figured out how to put that on the cape section. All that information will be in the post, the customization post that I'm going to put up on Jessie at Home. Okay. And so you'll be able to follow along and make those customizations and everything. So let me see. I have a lot more people who were commenting. And put that down there. Like I said, the one that I'm currently working on is Hirschner's Worsted 8 Heathers. The Heathers is really, not only do I like the look of the colors, but it's also a lot softer than the other one. So let's see. Everything I missed. Sarah says my cloak clasps are kind of steampunk looking. Monica says, yes, We Crochet, they have everything you'll need. Yes, We Crochet has a lot of fun cloak clasps and toggles and buttons and shawl pins. They have a lot of those. Monica also loves furls. The new Streamline metals are wonderful. I think I have one back here. I do. I have one of the silver ones. All right. See, now, right now, I really don't want anything to do with that because it's freezing cold. This is not cold, but that metal one was really cold when I picked it up. This one's fine. And the wood ones, oh, I don't have my wood one right here. I have so many wood ones, but I don't have one. I saw one earlier when I was doing some cleaning. But the wood ones warm up really fast when you're holding on to them, and they have these in wood. I think that was wood was the original one. They wood tools, they hold on to the heat from you. So those are great. If it's cold, you can get your body heat in there and give it a little like what is that? Karate Kid, right? With your hook in your hands. All right, give it some friction and it'll warm it up. Okay, then let's see. Sarah also loves furrows. We all love furrows. 4 is worsted. Thank you. I thought 5 was bulky and 4 is worsted. See, no, you guys are all right. It was totally me, Susan. It's all me. If someone has made a mistake, it is most likely me. All right. And then Karen says, might need to work out to make a child size, maybe fingering or DK. Honestly, if you did DK and followed the pattern, it would probably work. And because of the way I've changed the neck, okay, because of the way I've changed the neck by putting in the ribbing section, I am going to give you tips in that customization section on how to either add in some elastic thread here to pull it together. There was that tip in I think it was in the January issue of Crochet Foundry. So the January, February issue of Crochet Foundry has the tip on how to, it was January because it went along with the leg warmers. So in the January issue of Crochet Foundry, I tell you how to use elastic thread to really hold in your ribs, which work for post stitch ribs like this. It also works for the single crochet and the back loop only ribs. It works for almost any kind of ribs. Okay. So I'm going to put that in there for a customization tip. And also I'm going to tell you how to, if you don't want it to be elastic, but you want to like have it at a solid size, you can take a piece of ribbon that is the size you want, and you can apply it to either the inside or the outside, depending if it's a ribbon you want to look at or not, of the neck to really have it stay that shape. And that's really the part of this pattern that matters the most when it comes to sizes. Okay. This is a one size pattern because there's not really anything fitted about it. And I tell you how to add in the more stitches. Okay, how to add in the more stitches so that the hood will become bigger around. Okay, this one I used the amount of stitches that is in the pattern. And here we go. I use the amount of stitches that's in the pattern. And it's fine. But if you're using a smaller yarn, or if you have a bigger head than me, or if you want it to be more dramatic or bigger, whatever, you can use the tip that I'm going to give you on how to add the stitches in, right? So Sarah's here. I just saw Repeat Crafter Me joined. So hi, Sarah. I love Sarah. She's awesome. She's like the bestest ever. I think I've gone on about how much I love Sarah before. So yeah, if you're making a child version, you could use the same size hood, or you can use that tip that I'm going to give about how to add more stitches in. You can use it to subtract stitches. Or like you said, you could make it in a lighter weight yarn and see what that does. And then when it comes to the neck, you can either use the elastic tip that I'm going to give you, or you can use a set length piece of ribbon. And I'll give you that tip as well in that whole customization post that's going up on Jessie at Home by this time next week. Okay. So you have plenty of time to find your yarn and everything. Let's see. Oh, Monica is commiserating with me in the losing your mind and forgetting things and making mistakes on being old. Yes. Susan says she is the bulky queen. It's fun, right? It makes things go faster and it's warm, right? So like those of us who live someplace like this, where I am in New Jersey, where it gets cold, then yeah, it's nice to have something warm. And warm and fast to make. But then, of course, people who live someplace where it's constantly warm and you just want a little cape or capelet for fun, for something decorative and fashionable, and for like maybe the evenings when it starts to cool. You know, those winter evenings when it might get down to like 50 or 60. Yeah, those winter evenings when it would get down to 51 degrees when I lived in Southern California, man, those were brutal. And if you go to the ocean and you get that ocean breeze, it could be like low 50s. Low, maybe even high 40s. But yeah, so if you're someplace that's normally pretty warm and you just want something for like when it starts to cool down a little bit, or for some of the colder evenings or windy evenings, then you might want to use a lighter weight yarn. And you know, one of the really fun things for me doing this crochet along, and having the crochet along every month, I want the crochet along patterns to be patterns that obviously they need to be patterns that I have the right to, so that I can make you video tutorials, so that I can give you the customization, so I can give you all of this stuff and not worry about stepping on somebody else's toes. Okay, so they need to be patterns that I have the rights to. And since I have literally like hundreds, I think at this point over 500 patterns, well over half of which are crochet. I probably have over 300 crochet patterns. I'd have to check, but and most of those I actually own the rights to. There are some that I don't, but most of them I own the rights to. So that is an awesome pool for me to pull from. And I can then take that opportunity. I can see which patterns have already been popular, what patterns people enjoy making. So I know that I'm going to choose something that a lot of people have enjoyed making. And I can look at the various things that people have said, I would love it if this were an option, or if there's an area where everybody seems to get a little stuck at this area, then I can maybe give that area a little TLC to see if I can make it a little easier, or see what I can do to improve it. Or if everybody is like, oh, I love this pattern, wouldn't this be a neat option for it? Or you know, everybody wants to make the cape longer and they want an easy way to do that, where I don't have to, I don't want to have to write out enough individual rows to make a full length cape. So I needed to come up with a way to make it to do it with the 8-row repeat, because there's an 8-row repeat in the cable. So if I could make it so that I don't have to write more than 8 rows and you can make it as long as you want, great. You just have to keep in mind that the longer you make it, the more yarn it takes. And as it gets longer, it also gets wider. So every single row takes more yarn than the previous row, and it takes longer to make. Every row takes longer to make than the last one. That's one of my most disappointing things about working from like the top down on something like a skirt or a cape or whatever. I love it because you can stop when you're at the length that you want, or you can stop when you run out of yarn. But I hate it because every single row takes longer than the last one. And if you go from the bottom up, every single row gets faster and you finish sooner, right? You finish sooner when you go from the bottom up than when you go from the top down. You don't, but it just feels like it. So, yeah, let's see. Where are we for time? Oh my goodness, because I have the sit and stitch at 1:00. You guys have been awesome. Oh my goodness. I just want to check and see if I missed any comments over on Instagram. I did not. We were talking about the size 4 yarn. So Instagram is good. We're good over here. I've gotten everybody's comments. So yes, you have the information about what the crochet along is. If you want to have full access to the crochet along, be able to talk in the chat, get the PDF of the pattern for free. Guys, the PDF of the pattern is $4.99. It's $5.99 if you want the pattern and the printables that go along with it, the bonus printables that go along with it. But if you join the crochet along area of the if you join the crochet along area of wrong one. No. Aha. The crochet along tier is under crocheter. Okay. That every single tier of Patreon includes the crochet along. So for the cost of the pattern, you can get for 1 penny more than the cost of the pattern of the PDF of the pattern, you can get the PDF of the pattern and the PDFs and the printable PDFs that go along, or the bonus printables that go along with it, and all of the other features. You get an extra 5-minute yarn craft, all of that. And every single month there's a different crochet along. Okay. So that means every single month you get another free pattern. And my patterns all start at $4.99 a month. I mean, at $4.99 a pattern for the printable PDFs. So, you're getting a whole lot for that price. Alrighty. And the crochet along is included in every single tier. So when we go up, this one adds a little bit more of the yarny stuff. The yarnist adds a little bit more of the yarny stuff, including some knit options. You're also getting a discount on patterns at the Crochet Foundry store, or at my patterns on the Crochet Foundry store, or on my Ravelry store. Only on the Jessie at Home patterns on Crochet Foundry. I can't give you discounts to other people's patterns. Okay. I mean, technically I can because I own Crochet Foundry, but that would not be ethical. So you're only getting discounts on the Jessie at Home patterns. And then the artist one, it gives all sorts of awesome things. And you not only get the discount on the Jessie at Home, you get here we go. This is actually, I forgot this was in the lowest tier. 10% off all Crochet Foundry magazines and bundles. Okay. I'm in the process of getting this all set up. I just added some of these features on yesterday. So, if you try to access any of these features and it doesn't work, hit me up, because I may have, that's not what I want. What did I want to hit? Oh, the banners. I wanted to give you my email, support@crochetfoundry.com. If I've said there's a feature and I have missed it, let me know. Okay. And if you are if you're purchasing something from Ravelry or Crochet Foundry and you think you're supposed to get a discount and it doesn't show before you hit purchase, don't hit purchase, because it's not going to magically show up after you purchase it. All right. Let me know. Send me a message over at support@crochetfoundry.com and I will fix it. Okay. Sometimes it's a you forgot to put in a code thing, and sometimes it's a I forgot to activate the code thing, or I forgot to add you to the code thing. There are various things that can go wrong. So let me know. And if you do make the mistake and go all the way through and pay for it, and we're like, wait, I was supposed to get that for, half price or whatever, let me know as soon as possible. Let me know right away as soon as you notice it, and I'll fix it. Okay. I working in an ethical, running my businesses in an ethical manner is incredibly important to me. And having a community built on trust and common interests, I love that. A community built on common interests, like yarn awesomeness, is a strong community, and a community built on trust, not only of each other, but also of like the person who, is supposed to be leading all of this. That is very important to me as well. So, please always feel free to reach out to me for anything. Okay. I am there, and I want you guys to feel safe in the community, and I want you to feel safe when you do spend money with me. I want you to know that, if something goes awry, I will handle it. All right. So let's see. I keep hitting the wrong buttons over here. I'm hitting all sorts of buttons and none of them are the right one. All right. Pop back over to comments. We have nothing else going on. So I need to get going, because I need to get over to the sit and stitch that starts like now, but it's not doing anything without me. You guys are awesome. Thank you for being so active today. It was a lot of fun. And I will see you same time, same place next week. And hopefully I'll see a bunch of you here as soon as we get off of this one and pop on over to the sit and stitch, because this is one of the public facing sit and stitches. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.